Is coffee bad for you? Will you die if you drink coffee? Is coffee a gateway drug that leads to heroin? There has been a ferocious debate over the last several decades on whether or not coffee is good or bad for you. Lucky for you, the kid is here to answer that question today. And honestly, it all depends on you. It all comes down to your sensitivity to caffeine, the major component in coffee that's controversial. Caffeine is a stimulant, and for certain people, about 50% of the population, they don't handle it effectively. And what that means is caffeine is not properly processed by their metabolism. There's a certain enzyme, apparently it's a genetic trait, that whether you have it or don't will determine whether you can handle caffeine or coffee. So it's simple. If you don't react well with coffee, either you get constipated, fatigue, zombification occurs, then coffee is not for you. When it comes to the iron game, why do some people then use caffeine before working out? It's simple. As already stated before, it's a stimulant. It does increase alertness. It does for some enhance your cognitive abilities, your mental alertness, your focus, and your overall energy levels. However, those benefits only exist if coffee is used in moderation. And therein lies the problem of our modern society. 1. We drink way too much coffee. The average person today drinks more coffee than ever before. We're talking on average 2 to 3 cups a day. And that's very bad for our body because caffeine has a relatively long half-life. And so it's in your bloodstream way too long. So everyone is way too souped up on the caffeine with the jittery bugs. And you'll know that if you feel grouchy if you don't have your morning coffee. You wouldn't want to see me without my morning coffee. I'm a 2. We become dependent. Caffeine can be addictive, and what that means, it does something with your serotonin receptors that you become crabby or really craving it if you don't have it. 3. We drink it when we're stressed, and this is bad because coffee already, when you consume a chronic amount, will increase your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone. So when you're stressed out, you're consuming something that's increasing your stress level only further. If anything, it adds to that stress. 4. We build up an intolerance, and what that means is we crave more and more caffeine and more coffee, and what that does, that chronic consumption will make our insulin more resistant, and that's bad because that's blood sugar. And what we're talking about here, coupled with a poor dieting, a poor nutrition, lack of exercise, too much stress, it's a surefire recipe for a bad body composition. So with all these factors, this crap storm, it can equal a bad body composition. 5. We don't use it right. Coffee is that stimulant, so we're supposed to use it either prior to workout or when we need that alertness very infrequently, and then it'll be able to be absorbed in our body and we'll use the caffeine. However, we use a chronic amount, which is the bad way to do it because we become dependent on it. And this is even assuming if we just drink straight black coffee, which, let's face it, the vast majority of people don't. Yeah, your mocha frappuccino, whatever the hell going on, yeah, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of milk, a little bit of caramel going on, some whipped cream, and before you know it, boom, right in your gut. It's clear because of all the adverse effects of chronic caffeine consumption that we need to reduce our overall coffee intake. We need to consume maximum for coffee drinkers 1 cup per day, and I'm talking about a 6-ounce cup. I would drink it in the morning or prior to exercise. And for those that train hard and want to use it as a stimulant, here's exactly what I'm going to recommend. You use it very infrequently for a big lifting day, about maybe 3 to 4 times a week prior to exercise, 20 minutes before, and your dosing would be the following: 1 milligram per pound of body weight. What that means, if you're about 150 pounds, you consume 1 cup of coffee, 1 7-ounce cup. That works out to about 150 milligrams of caffeine. Exactly what I was talking about. Coffee is like wine. It's fine in moderation. So if you're using it now, you got to reduce that consumption to about 1 cup a day. Or if you only want it for your exercise purposes, I would have it 20 minutes prior to exercise with the dosing I just recommended. And if you don't use it already, don't even bother using it. You don't need it. And I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. Have you ever spilled a hot cup of joe on something? Or a hot cup of anything? I'll be honest, spilled it right on somebody's face, melted it right off. Still paying it off right now as we speak. Never will be the same. This time it's no different.